But at first I want to talk about the world, because I believe the president has a huge, huge responsibility and difficult challenge, which is, in the first few months after being sworn into office, the President of the United States is going to have to travel the world, because we can't allow to continue what's happening now. We cannot. The world needs to hear from our President. Not just talking to leaders behind closed doors. The world needs to hear from the President of the United States, and this is what I believe they need to hear. They need to hear, and I'm not the first person to say this, they need to hear that America's not a place. America's an idea. And that idea is equality. Equality and diversity. That's who we are. When we are at our best and at our core, it is who we are. And I mean every kind of diversity. And in the United States of America, we don't just tolerate diversity, we embrace it, don't we? We embrace cultural diversity, ethnic diversity, faith diversity, because the world doesn't believe that about us now. I can tell you I've spent a huge amount of my time since the last election traveling around the world. The world believes we're at war with the Muslim world. They believe that. That has to change. That cannot continue. And we also have to demonstrate to the world that we're not what they perceive us to be now. They think we're a bully. They think we're selfish. They don't think we care about anything except ourselves. That has to change. And it means America is going to have to do some things that are not, at least don't appear to be, in our own selfish short-term interest. I just want to give you a couple of examples tonight, and then I want to say a word about this bleeding sore that is Iraq. First, example of what America could do so that the world sees us. And by the way, Carl Levin and Debbie understand this better than anybody. We are the only potential stabilizing force on the planet. We live in a dangerous and chaotic world. The only way that the world can be stable is the world has to rally around America when crises occur. And they're going to continue to occur. Whether it's the president of Iran trying to get nuclear weapons, or Kim Jong-il testing nuclear weapons and missiles, whatever it is. When the crisis comes, the world needs to rally around us. Otherwise, they have no place to rally. We're the preeminent power on the planet. For that to happen, the world has to see America as a force for good again. We can't be the country of Abu Ghraib and Guantanamo. And by the way, just as an aside, when I'm President of the United States, one of the first things I do will be to close Guantanamo. But the world needs to see America again as a country to be followed. We should be the light. We should be the country that everybody says, that's who we want to be like. We want to be like the United States of America. We admire and respect America. Here's some examples of what I think we could do today, right now. There's a genocide going on in Africa, in Sudan, Western Sudan, in Darfur. Most of you, maybe all of you know about it. Hundreds of thousands of people have been slaughtered. Women raped, villages lowered, mostly at the hands of a group called the Janjaweed militia. This militia is supported by the Sudanese government. The Sudanese government is engaged in genocide. Now, step back for just a minute, and instead of doing what we often do, which is see this through our eyes, see it through the eyes of the rest of the world. You want to know what they're going to respond to, see it through their eyes. This is what they said. The most powerful nation on the planet, years ago, declared that a genocide is occurring. And then stepped back and watched it continue. What would you think of us? Today, there will be thousands of children born in Africa with AIDS. Why? Because their mother can't pay for a $4 dose of medicine. $4. $4. Her baby's going to have AIDS because she can't pay $4 for a dose of medicine. An entire new generation of children with AIDS. And the richest nation on the planet stands by and watches it continue. What would you think of us? We're better than this. The United States of America is better than this. And we need to show the world our better angels. It is not enough. It is not enough alone to be strong. Do we need to be strong? Of course we need to be strong in every conceivable way. But the world needs to see that we understand our responsibility, not just to ourselves, but our responsibility to humanity. And there are so many things we could do on health care, on sanitation, on clean drinking water, on access to education. So many things that we could do.